So last week I told you about one of my synchronicities. This week I'm going to tell you another one, although it's from a different place. So I'm a tarot reader of 30 years, and I read a lot of different people. This particular day, a very young girl, and her mom came in, and I'm reading her cards, telling her all the things, and all of a sudden I kind of get really slow and I'm getting pulled out. And that happens sometimes when someone's loved one in spirit comes in. So I was expecting, someone to come in spirit. Except I was kind of tuned out. I was looking down at my cards and reading her and telling her different things. And all of a sudden I kind of come back to what I'm saying. And I realize I'm telling her about a recurring dream that I have had since I was 5. I am 46, so I've had this dream a very long time in my life. And when I look up at her, she's like, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you're describing one of my recurring dreams. So she goes on to describe what her dream is like. And I'm kind of like, wow, that is crazy. That is eerily similar to a dream that I have. So I'm going to describe to you the place that I see. And the place that I see on the outside is a white house. It has 3 pillars in the front and a big door, big white door, and like a big, click down handle, like gold. And so every time I see the outside of the house, and then I'm pushed up to the house and I open the door. And when I open the door, it's like a fun house effect. This is like a haunted house, a Scooby-Doo kind of feel, right? And so you open the door, and it's like this big foyer, and it's got a black and white checkered floor. And that was a detail that her and I both shared. For me, as I'm moving through the house, it's always creepy. It's uncomfortable. The rooms shift and change. One of them has this really thick, red wine colored rug that I'm walking through, but I have no shoes on, so I can really feel the shag carpet. All sorts of different things happen in this dream. It shifts and changes all the time, but it always kind of ends. It starts and ends the same way. It always ends with me being chased, me being fearing for my life, me running out of this house, and someone's trying to shoot me, stab me, murder me in some way. And when I wake up, it is so vivid. But what got me was some of the details that her and I shared. And it made me start thinking, is this a place that exists in some other dimension in the astral realm? I don't know. But there's no way that her and I should both have this dream. She is significantly younger than me. She is in her teens. So I just don't really think that our life shared experience was enough the same that we'd have a very similar dream. Possible, right? Anything's possible. So it makes me wonder, is this a place that many of us intuitives go to for some reason? I don't know. What do you think? Do you have recurring dreams that are super vivid, and when you wake up, you're like, I would often wake up feeling like I still had a knife in my back. I would be crying. I'd be out of breath. This is full-on nightmare panic situations. So I'm just curious, does this sound at all familiar to you? Is this something that you've experienced? I've shared dreams with other people before where I was looking at the dream through their eyes, or I was a silent observer in the dream, or I was an active participant, but I wasn't the main character in the dream. And then these people would tell me later, oh, I had a dream with you, and it was so vivid, it was so weird. And I'm like, wow, look, I wrote down the dream I had because I've learned that no one's going to believe me. If I don't write this down and date it and timestamp it, I can show it to them later. And people have been like, yeah, that's the dream I had too. That's weird. I think that there is a collective consciousness out there that exists in this universe. We don't know what any of this is. All of the things that we know are really kind of made up. Time is a social construct, right? This time we use to make sense of this world. And I think that a lot of the things that we think we know about psychic intuitives, the paranormal, aren't true. That's just my 2 cents. So I'm curious. Let me know if you have shared dreams or had a dream similar to this.